I wanted to start out with some photos that I took last night, and noticed that the sky was pretty clear and the air was quite crisp. So I grabbed my new camera with the 600mm zoom lens that I am now able to use because I updated its firmware, and took some photos. So let's take a look. Okay, that didn't work. Let me try manually. so this, I guess this is a star signature. This strange squiggle is the result of a not entirely steady tripod as I attempted to take some astrophotos last night. Obviously, using the shutter release button is not the best technique. I found that I can keep the camera a little steadier if I tap the screen, like the preview screen on the back of the camera. It introduces less vibration. I could do even better if I used like a 2-second delay, which I need to figure out because I haven't fully explored the capabilities of my new camera. But this, I think, was Mars. But yeah, it was a little bit wiggly. But I wanted to show it to you because it's funny. This here actually is Mars, for sure. And it's pretty fuzzy, can't see much. I found that it's very difficult to get precise focus on points of light. Like if all you have is a point of light, whether it's a star or a planet, getting a precise focus on that is really, really difficult. At least with my lens. You know, the focus control is it's just a ring around the lens, and with my crummy vision and you know, with the awkward angle of looking through the viewfinder or the limited size that you can't really zoom in too far on the just on the pop-out screen. You can't really see if you're getting a sharp focus until you take a picture and then zoom in on the picture. Well, you can't really. That's not a very effective technique, and I've got to work on that. But next up is the Pleiades, which is much nicer. So here we have the Pleiades star cluster, and once you can see sort of a lot of stars, it becomes difficult actually to tell which ones are the constellation or the star cluster you're looking for. I mean, you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then it becomes difficult to tell what are the 6th and the 7th stars of the Pleiades cluster, because there are a lot of other stars around. Now, one benefit of the new camera over my old camera is that the light sensitivity is much greater. So whereas the old camera, if I cranked the ISO or the light sensitivity to 1600 or so, the picture would be unusably grainy. It would look terrible. 3200, don't even try it. But the new camera, I can actually boost the ISO all the way to 25,700, I think it is, and the graininess is not too bad. I mean, it is grainy, but it's much more light sensitive, which allows me to take shorter exposures, which makes a big difference at night. Because, well, especially if you're zoomed, like if you're taking a wide shot of like the Milky Way or something, if you're in a location with dark enough skies to see the Milky Way, which I am not. I'm pretty much in the middle of the city here. But if you have dark skies and if you're taking a wide shot, then you can take, you know, multiple seconds of exposure without really introducing star trails. But if you're zoomed in to 600 millimeters like I was, even a 2-second exposure is too long, and you're going to start to see star trails. So the shorter the exposure, the better. And finally, I turned about 90 degrees over to Jupiter and its 4 moons. 4 Galilean moons, I should say. Jupiter has lots of moons, but only 4 of them are large. And can't see any detail on the planet itself because Jupiter is much, much brighter than its moons. And by brighter, I mean it has a higher albedo. Jupiter doesn't generate its own light, of course, aside from some lightning storms. But all the light from Jupiter is reflected from the sun. But nonetheless, Jupiter is very bright, and its moons are pretty dim. And so even though you can see them naked eye, in order to resolve details of the bands of Jupiter as you're looking at it, like when you take a photograph, you need very different exposure settings for Jupiter versus its moons. And so if you basically need daylight settings to photograph Jupiter itself, and you need nighttime star type settings to photograph its moons. Now, you can tell by the ring-like appearance of the 4 moons here that, again, we are not quite in perfect focus. The grain that you see throughout the photo is actually noise, an artifact of just the noise of the universe, the cosmic microwave background, cosmic rays, whatever. I mean, it's just basically radiostatic noise. And those aren't actually stars you're looking at for the most part. There may be some in there. But in any case, once I figured the focus out and figure out a technique for maintaining stability of the camera and maybe setting up my star tracker mount, which is a huge pain to get aligned properly, maybe I can produce some astrophotos, and then by taking multiple photos and then stacking them, maybe I can produce some astrophotos which are actually worth their salt, I guess.